wonder why. Why does Lady Rhea give you special treatment? You're not particularly strong or good-looking. You seem exceedingly unremarkable. Not that I doubt you were a skilled mercenary. Shamir came from the same background, but she doesn't get nearly as much of Lady Rhea's attention. Besides, it'd be one thing if you got brought on as a knight, but a professorship, unprecedented. I just don't get it. I'm flummoxed as to why she holds you in such high esteem. Maybe it's because you're related to Geralt. He was a leader of the Knights of Seiros, and probably the finest mercenary in all Fodlan. By the time I joined, he was gone, so I don't know him too well, but he's strong, right? Oh, come on. There can't be a soul in Fodlan who hasn't heard tales of the Bladebreaker. Maybe that's it. Geralt used his influence to help you. But Lady Rhea wouldn't give you favorable treatment because of that. No, definitely not. There must be something more to you. Okay, that settles it. I'm going to watch from afar, figure out what Lady Rhea could possibly see in you. Whatever it is, maybe I can copy it so that you'll take a shine to me as well. And if I discover that your intentions are malicious, I'll cut you down, with relish. I was trying to catch you off guard, but you managed to block it. Not too shabby, Professor. Oh, come on. Look at the blade I threw. It's just a wooden training sword. At worst, you could have gotten a bruise or perhaps a splinter. Let's agree it was funny and move on. Aw, poor thing. Aren't you used to getting hurt? You've been in your fair share of battles. Besides, I knew you'd dodge in time. I told you before that I was going to observe you. Since then, I've been watching you. I know what you're capable of. I took steps to make myself invisible, so I could observe you without being detected. I hardly let you out of my sight. After extensive research, I've concluded that you really are first-rate. Your sword skills are impeccable, you're a gifted educator, you clearly love working with the students. Someone with all of your exceptional qualities should not exist, but here you are. At first, I thought Geralt was the reason for Lady Rhea's interest in you. But no. Lady Rhea knew exactly what she was doing when she singled you out. Unfortunately, I can't hope to emulate you, let alone wield the sword of the Creator. So my plan of imitating you for Lady Rhea's attention has come to nothing. I didn't say that. When we rescue Lady Rhea, I'll provide her a full report of your activities. Hopefully, then I'll be in her good graces. Oh, and don't think you can avoid being watched. I won't let you out of my sight. I will not yield! Yeah! It's been a while since I had such a close call. If not for you, Professor, I wouldn't have made it. I didn't expect to be ambushed on a simple scouting mission. You should be asking about the mission, not about me. I have to ask, Professor, what brought you here? So you came to protect me. I'm beginning to understand why your allies love you. These are selfish times. One doesn't expect to encounter selflessness. You're kind. In that respect, I'd say you're much like Lady Rhea. Of course. It's thanks to her kindness that I'm here today. I was an outlaw in Fargus. She took me in and let me live here. Didn't I tell you? I was born into House Karen, in Fargus. They used to call me Thunderstrike Cassandra. I was implicated in a plot to kill the king. It was a totally false accusation, of course. I had to flee the kingdom, and the Archbishop took me in. I used to be a student at the academy, so I knew I'd be safe here. Lady Rhea saved me once when I was a student, you know. I don't really remember what happened. I was badly injured and near death. Lady Rhea took care of me. She didn't mind getting dirty. She took my muddied, bloodied body into her arms. Since then, Lady Rhea has been my inspiration. I will always serve her, protect her, love her. For some reason, when I think about Lady Rhea, your face comes to mind. You've become an important presence in my life. I wasn't expecting you to have a positive response. I'm not thrilled about it personally. I am still going to keep my eye on you. Not so I can report to Lady Rhea, though. Just because I want to. Sorry to bother you, Professor. I know you're busy. You're going to be the new ruler of Fodlan, after all. I'd just like a word. As you might imagine, I've been contemplating my future. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I've always seen myself as a servant of Lady Rhea, not of the Church. Now that she's gone, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I suppose I could go back to Fargus and take up the Karen name again. But that's not what I want. I'd rather not be tied down by my family name. It wouldn't feel right, falling back on knighthood simply because it's what I know. It would be different if I had a reason to continue being a knight. Well, if you told me you wanted me to remain a knight, that would be a good enough reason. Or if you said you wanted me to stay by your side forever. Or if you said you wanted to get married, for example. Wait, are you being serious? You are. But I'm Thunder Catherine, whose very name frightens little children. Who knows what I might do to you? I'm no good at cooking or sewing or anything remotely domestic. Why me? You love me. I'm glad. As for me, I love you too. Deeply. I never expected things to turn out this way. But now that they have, I'm certain I wish to remain a knight and stay by your side. Will you accept? Good. After all, swinging a sword has been the only life I've known. But from now on, the power of Thunderbrand is ours, not just mine. For now and forever, you can't escape me. I hope you're ready. I wonder why. Why does Lady Rhea give you special treatment? You're not particularly strong or good-looking. You seem exceedingly unremarkable. Not that I doubt you were a skilled mercenary. Shamir came from the same background, but she doesn't get nearly as much of Lady Rhea's attention. Besides, it'd be one thing if you got brought on as a knight, but a professorship, unprecedented. I'm not blaming you, I'm just perplexed. Maybe it's because you're related to Geralt. He was a leader of the Knights of Seiros, and probably the finest mercenary in all Fodlan. By the time I joined, he was gone, so I don't know him too well, but he's strong, right? Oh, come on. There can't be a soul in Fodlan who hasn't heard tales of the Bladebreaker. Maybe that's it. Geralt used his influence to help you. But Lady Rhea wouldn't give you favorable treatment because of that. No, definitely not. There must be something more to you. Okay, that settles it. I'm going to watch from afar. Figure out what Lady Rhea could possibly see in you. Whatever it is, maybe I can copy it so that you'll take a shine to me as well. And if I discover that your intentions are malicious, I'll cut you down. With relish. I was trying to catch you off guard, but you managed to block it. Not too shabby, Professor. Oh, come on. Look at the blade I threw. It's just a wooden training sword. At worst, you could have gotten a bruise or perhaps a splinter. Let's agree it was funny and move on. How? By choking on it? Don't be so dramatic. Besides, I knew you'd dodge in time. I told you before that I was going to observe you. Since then, I've been watching you. I know what you're capable of. I took steps to make myself invisible, so I could observe you without being detected. I hardly let you out of my sight. After extensive research, I've concluded that you really are first-rate. Your sword skills are impeccable, you're a gifted educator, you clearly love working with the students. Someone with all of your exceptional qualities should not exist, but here you are. At first, I thought Gerald was the reason for Lady Rhea's interest in you. But no, Lady Rhea knew exactly what she was doing when she singled you out. Unfortunately, I can't hope to emulate you, let alone wield the sword of the Creator. So my plan of imitating you for Lady Rhea's attention has come to nothing. I didn't say that. When we rescue Lady Rhea, I'll provide her a full report of your activities. Hopefully, then I'll be in her good graces. Oh, and don't think you can avoid being watched. I won't let you out of my sight. I will not yield! Yeah! It's been a while since I had such a close call. If not for you, Professor, I wouldn't have made it. I didn't expect to be ambushed on a simple scouting mission. Yes, my objective was to gauge the enemy's strength. I'd say I was successful. I have to ask, Professor, what brought you here? So you came to protect me. I'm beginning to understand why your allies love you. These are selfish times. One doesn't expect to encounter selflessness. You're kind. In that respect, I'd say you're much like Lady Rhea. Of course. It's thanks to her kindness that I'm here today. I was an outlaw in Fargus. She took me in and let me live here. Didn't I tell you? I was born into House Karen, in Fargus. They used to call me Thunderstrike Cassandra. I was implicated in a plot to kill the king. It was a totally false accusation, of course. I had to flee the kingdom, and the Archbishop took me in. I used to be a student at the academy, so I knew I'd be safe here. Lady Rhea saved me once when I was a student, you know. I don't really remember what happened. I was badly injured and near death. Lady Rhea took care of me. She didn't mind getting dirty. She took my muddied, bloodied body into her arms. Since then, Lady Rhea has been my inspiration. I will always serve her, protect her, love her. For some reason, when I think about Lady Rhea, your face comes to mind. You've become an important presence in my life. I wasn't expecting you to have a positive response. I'm not thrilled about it personally. I am still going to keep my eye on you. Not so I can report to Lady Rhea, though. Just because I want to. Hey there. At it again, are we? It feels like I see you training here every day.
It's my daily routine. I'm ill at ease until I've held a weapon in my grasp.
You said the same thing when you were little.
Right you are. I've been meaning to come and talk to you properly for a while now.
I was about to say the same thing. How long has it been? A decade? More? That was in Ferdiad, as I recall. You were just a little pipsqueak. You really have grown up, haven't you?
I'm not sure it was quite that long ago. Not really. But it matters not. I remember those times well. Particularly your first words to me. Look at that young maiden wielding a giant lance. How adorable.
Oh, don't look at me like that. I was thrown off by your haircut, that's all.
It's all water under the bridge. Now, back then I was quite furious about it.
My father did give me a stern reprimand for speaking so rudely to a prince. But then, I never had a chance to apologize. I was always getting into trouble back then, just like the incident in Dusker.
Speaking of, do you ever think about going back to House Karen? Do you, Cassandra?
No, I'm happy with the life I have. No offense, Your Highness, but I don't fight for king and country anymore. I fight for Lady Rhea.
It doesn't bother you? Being labeled a criminal?
You're worried about my life as a fugitive from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Don't worry about me. I'm here because I want to be. It suits me far better than the life I'd otherwise lead, as a noble lady of the kingdom.
Is that so?
How about you? You've never wanted to roam free? To enjoy life as an ordinary knight, unshackled from all those princely obligations.
I can't say the thought has never crossed my mind. However, I am the son of a king. It's not possible for me to put my own desires before the good of the kingdom.
Ah, you're too serious for your own good. How'd you become such a stiff?
Don't worry, I've been working on that. Stretching is a part of my daily routine.
If you can joke about it, there's hope for you yet. Another day, another training session, I see. You're quite dedicated. And practicing with the sword today. You weren't any good with it when you were little, as I recall.
And who told you that?
Lord Rodrigue mentioned it to me. He said you used to swing your sword so hard that you'd break it.
That was ages ago. I've had plenty of time to improve since then. Now I count swordplay as one of my specialties. Care to see for yourself?
Well, I can't just take your word for it, can I? Let's see what you've got. Well, I'm impressed. You're better than I expected.
I could say the same of you. I suppose we students still have much to learn.
No need for false modesty. We fought as equals just now. You're strong, and your form is excellent. You're clearly an experienced fighter. But you're greedy. You can't be so impatient to win. It'll come at a grave cost.
Greedy? I see. I'll take that note to heart. You have my thanks for the instruction.
Ah, it returns. The formality, the stiffness. Anyway, after we're through here, I might head into town for some food. Care to join me?
I appreciate the invitation, but I have certain duties I must attend to this evening.
Of course you do. Never mind about my plans then.
I thought you'd say that. You have the same sense of responsibility as I do.
You think so? I didn't want to push you to join me. We can just do it another day. I'll confess, I'm taking a shine to you. I'd like to talk to you more.
I would like that as well. Ever since I saw you wielding a sword all those years ago, I've been following in your footsteps. To be able to stand with you and cross swords is quite a...
Hey, slow down. Where did all this come from? You're embarrassing me. That's enough chatter for now anyway. Let's get back to sparring, this time with lances. I won't hold back. Show me what you can do.
Right. Prepare yourself!
That was delicious. Wow, I'm full. Nothing beats a big meal after a training session. Okay, what's up? You seem distracted.
Oh, my apologies, Catherine. I was just wondering whether you had any desire to return to Fargus.
No, I haven't even entertained the idea. My loyalty lies elsewhere.
May I ask why you have devoted yourself to Lady Rhea?
It's simple. I adore her. Lady Rhea isn't just kind, but strong and courageous. I think she's a wonderful, beautiful person. More so than anyone else in the world.
Wow. I'm not sure I can compete with that.
You can't. My reluctance to return to Fargus isn't about you, though. Ever since I met Lady Rhea, going back just hasn't been an option.
That is a shame. I am certain Fargus could use your help in the near future. House Karen is one of the most sterling noble families after Fraldarius and Gautier. It would be reassuring to know that you had taken up your position as head of that house. Is something wrong?
You need someone who's like me, but more noble. You're so stern and serious all the time. Sorry, I'm not going back. Besides, my father is alive and well, fulfilling the duties of House Karen. I have plenty of capable brothers and sisters who can take over after him. I'll keep serving Lady Rhea here, and you'll bring the kingdom together at the capital. We have to direct our talents wherever they're most useful and most needed, right?
Well,
Anyway, early day tomorrow. Don't want to stay up too late. You better go to bed. What's wrong, Dimitri? Your sword play's oddly sluggish today.
Sorry.
If you were hungry, I'd get you something to eat. That's not the problem, though, it seems. It's not much fun fighting you when you're so far below your usual standards.
Do not worry. I will be myself again in a moment.
Are you worried about something? Tell me.
This war. Once it is over, I will have to go back to the capital, and you will remain here as a Knight of Seros.
Yes, if we're both still alive.
When that happens, there will not be many chances for us to have these little duels of ours, will there?
I suppose not. Garrigmach and Ferdiad are quite far apart.
It will be hard to get by without them. I've grown very fond of these sessions.
Wow, you sure know how to draw out a conversation. Just say what's on your mind.
Please, return to the capital with me.
That's it? Return to the capital, just like that, with no explanation?
You were the one who told me to speak frankly.
Yes, I've also told you that I'm devoted to the Knights of Seros and wouldn't dream of leaving. It'd be one thing if you were asking me to return to my family. Why summon me to the capital?
I just want to be near you.
Oh, please. Don't waste your romantic words on me. Save them for a girl you really like.
I was just saying what I felt.
Is that so? I never imagined that brat with the silly haircut would try to woo me someday.
Do you really still see me as that young prince?
You take yourself too seriously. But you're not selfish, even if you are a bit greedy with your sword. They do say you can tell who a person really is from the way they wield their sword. Maybe it's true. I'll think about coming back to the capital, okay? Someday. But as for now, don't you have something more important to worry about?
Yes, I do.
Stop getting distracted by trivialities. Focus on what actually matters. We'll have plenty of time to flirt when the war is over.
Catherine, Thunderbrand, I'm here to see it.
Well, that came out of the blue.
I wish for you to show me Thunderbrand so I may better understand the relic before I attempt to use it.
You want to use Thunderbrand. Is this a joke?
By no means. My research demands this next step.
Have you paid any attention to your training? If you use a hero's relic that doesn't match your crest, you'll become a demonic beast.
I am well aware of what became of Miquelon Gautier. It is true that those lacking a crest are easily turned into demonic beasts when attempting to use any relic. However, research indicates that if you have a crest, even if the relic is not compatible, it's less likely that you will be transformed against your will.
Less likely doesn't mean impossible. I won't let you take such a dangerous gamble.
There's no recorded example of a transformation occurring after a single use of a relic. One attempt is barely a gamble. So, as a man of science, let me use it just once?
Nope, never.
Let's say you're right and I do become a demonic beast. What of it? I'm the only one who will be inconvenienced. And I've already made preparations to be subdued should that occur. I fail to see your problem.
You're a fool. Don't talk about the hero's relics like they're toys to play with.
Fine then, forget I asked. There is no persuading you when you're angry. Let us resume this conversation another time.
If you come back another time, you'll find my position hasn't changed.
Catherine, about Thunderbrand.
I said my position would not change. Go home. You're not getting your hands on Thunderbrand.
I was not asking to, so stop being so overprotective. I have a different request today.
Oh, so you're nagging about something else. Just so you know, constant badgering isn't a very attractive quality.
I would appreciate it if you would use Thunderbrand somewhere that I might observe it in action. Since you have denied me the simplest path to my enlightenment, I decided instead that I should closely observe the relic in use.
Linhardt, the hero's relics aren't showpieces. I only use Thunderbrand when I need its power. I won't waggle it around for your entertainment. You know, even though it's compatible with my crest, it still takes its toll on me. Every time I use it, it wears away at my soul. Not that you'd understand.
Of course I don't understand. I've never used it.
Watch your tone. Remember who you're talking to.
Why are you so unwilling to let me study Thunderbrand in any manner? I wish to be a true crest scholar. Learning all there is to know about the hero's relics is my duty. I could learn a great deal by using a relic myself, even if that did mean endangering my life, yet you deny me the opportunity. Scholars who will not endanger their lives in pursuit of knowledge are worthless.
Scholars should be willing to lose their lives?
In a word, yes, which makes it all the more frustrating that you refuse my attempts at study. But I can't seem to convince you, so just forget all about it. Your bullheadedness wins the day, Catherine. I'm sure I can keep myself busy until we find another relic. If only I could use the Sword of the Creator. But without a crest stone, it won't respond. I wonder how it is that the professor can use it. The only explanation that makes any sense is... Could it be?
He wants so badly to study crests, he'd risk his own life. That's impressive. I underestimated your tenacity, Linhardt, but I have to protect you from yourself. Linhardt, I understand you'd endanger yourself to realize your dreams. But why go this far? You never seemed like the type to put this much effort into anything.
Honestly, I find most everything annoying, which is most likely why you have such an opinion of me. But to continue my research without taking this chance to know the truth? What would be the point? Besides, ignorance can breed even greater dangers. For example, do you know for whom Thunderbrand was originally crafted?
The goddess.
Correct. And because of that, everyone just stops thinking about it. No one really knows what the relic is made of, how it was crafted, or what its very structure may be. Until we know those things and truly understand the power and the danger relics hold, we won't be able to gain any new knowledge. I'm tired of talking.
You tire too easily. But I think I understand your logic. If you really want to risk your life, I won't stop you. Just remember, Linhardt, curiosity killed the...
I am not a cat. It will require more than my own curiosity to finish me off.
You've got guts, I'll give you that. but don't blame me if something bad happens.
If something happens, it happens. Finding out the truth means accepting the risks. Those who've identified plants, both poisonous and medicinal, took the same risk in eating each. I'm just like those people.
Okay, fine. I give up. You win. I'll let you hold Thunderbrand just this once. Go on, give it a try. And don't worry about something bad happening. I'll be right here. So, now you've held Thunderbrand. Learn anything? What's going on? You look like you're going to faint. Is that Thunderbrand's doing?
No, not at all. My body is operating at its normal, healthy level of sleepiness. I felt no effect at all, honestly. Perhaps one exposure to the relic wasn't enough.
Don't tell me you want to get a hold of it again.
Of course not. There is a difference between taking a risk and being a fool. Interesting experiment, though. I used all my might, yet absolutely nothing happened. It seems if one's crest is not compatible, a relic simply will not work. To feel that response, to better understand the bond, that is more than enough for me.
I see. What will you do now? I assume your relic research is complete.
Not at all. I have other clues to follow, experiments to perform. That said, I would be pleased if someone who could use their relic with all their might would join in my research.
What? You don't mean me, do you?
Now that you mention it, I suppose you would fit the bill.
Sure seems that's what you were getting at. Fine. When the war's over, I'll help with your research.
Oh, you will?
I figure if I don't do it, you'll find some other poor soul to bother. It's like I'm keeping a high-maintenance cat. You're endlessly curious.
I am not being kept. The sentiment is welcome, but I am still not a cat.
Not this time!
How about this?
Too slow!
You're mine now!
Not quite!
Why can't I do it?
What's wrong, Caspar? Worn out already? You said you wanted to keep going until you managed to hit me.
Oh, I'm gonna hit you. Just let me catch my breath. Losing to you over and over again is exhausting.
That's because you rely on sheer power. You're moving around more than you have to, and it's a waste of energy. You need to start using your head, or you'll never even land a blow.
Well, you were taking some pretty big swings yourself, you know.
I have more experience than you. I can use my energy more efficiently.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You are the famous Thunder Catherine, after all. Wait, I just realized something. I get to train with the legendary wielder of Thunderbrand.
Why is that just occurring to you?
I guess it didn't really sink in until now. I'm training with someone I've always looked up to. You're a legend. Everyone knows about the power of Thunderbrand, even in the Empire.
Stop. I'm not nearly that impressive.
But you are. When I was younger, my friends and I would fight over who got to pretend to use Thunderbrand whenever we would play.
If they actually saw me fighting, I doubt that game would be very popular. I will cut down anyone, even a child, for the sake of my mission. On the battlefield, there is no Thunder Catherine. Only a bloodied soldier crawling in the mud, hacking desperately at her enemies.
Sure, but
I'm not a hero. I fight only for Lady Rhea and the Goddess. What about me is admirable, Is it my deeds? Or my blade? Hey, Caspar. You look more troubled than usual.
yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the last time we talked. I really admire your strength, and I want to be like you on the battlefield. But I don't agree with your idea of justice. If that's the case, is it bad for me to look up to you? I'm not sure how to feel anymore.
I can't answer that. You'll need to find the answer on your own. I can offer one piece of advice, however.
Sure, anything will help.
When I told you I would cut down children with no hesitation, you looked disgusted. I take it that's the part you're struggling to accept?
Pretty much. I don't think I'd be able to do it, even if that meant disobeying orders.
Well, what if the children had their own weapons? What if they were trying to kill you?
Well, maybe if it was in self-defense, but even that...
What if the children were killing each other? Let's say their families had been slaughtered and they sought revenge. How would you stop the killing? Who would you strike down?
I don't know. I'd have to see what's going on for myself, but even then,
When you witness these horrors in person, it's no easier to decide. In fact, the decision is harder. Choosing to end or spare a life, whether to save someone or abandon them, these choices are always difficult.
Having to choose between life and death.
You have a strong sense of justice. You have clearly defined ideals. But that's not an asset on the battlefield. Ideals slow you down. They cause inner conflict. Making decisions in the spur of the moment, you can't hope to be perfectly fair and just. That's why I choose to fight for Lady Rhea's justice. The justice of the Church of Seiros.
But what about when Lady Rhea's ideals don't really line up with yours? Then what?
Not possible. Lady Rhea's ideals are my ideals. There's no conflict between them, because that's what I've decided. Do you see?
I don't get it. You can't possibly agree on everything.
I have faltered in the past.
That's what I'm talking about. How can you blindly trust some other person's sense of justice?
Not a person. The goddess. I cared about someone, and they were branded a criminal. That's when I started down this path. I didn't know whether to turn a blind eye or mete out punishment.
What did you do?
I couldn't decide, so I looked to the goddess for guidance. Since then, I have devoted myself completely to the goddess. I surrender myself wholly to her will. So think carefully, Caspar. To what will you devote your sword and your heart?
Hey, Catherine. I wanted to tell you I've decided to do things my own way.
I'm happy for you, Caspar, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, you know, in life and death situations like we talked about. I spent a lot of time thinking, but it was tough to figure out. Then I realized I was wasting my time. I decided I should keep fighting the way that feels right to me.
I thought that might be your decision.
I've still got something important to ask you, though.
Something important, huh? Let's hear it.
Could you, keep an eye on me?
What? Why?
I may have decided to do things my own way, but I'm sure I'll still mess up sometimes. I might be able to avoid any real damage if a Knight of Seiros has my back.
I see. Then I refuse.
Oh, great. Thanks so much. I knew you'd... What?
After deciding to take your own path, you ask someone else to watch over you? It's like you can't think for yourself. Your simple-mindedness is kind of charming, but still.
I really thought you'd say yes. Now what am I supposed to do?
I don't know. I'm not your babysitter. You want someone to watch after you? Become the type of man people can't look away from.
Yes! I did it! I finally got a hit on you!
Not bad. I didn't expect you to come this far.
I've been training non-stop, so it had to happen eventually. I've been using my head a lot more, too. I'm not the same old Caspar.
Then what kind of Caspar are you?
Well, If you're Thunder Catherine, then, I get to be... Lightning Caspar. No, that's no good. Fiery... No. Burning Caspar?
I wonder where all this fire of yours comes from.
It comes from wanting to fight by your side.
Sorry, what?
You said before that you don't want to keep an eye on me. Something about not being my babysitter?
Yes, I seem to recall saying something like that.
That's why I decided I needed to train and get to your level instead. I'm gonna keep getting stronger. That way I'll never have to leave your side. You and me were...
Stop. That's enough for now. You've only managed to hit me once. Let's see if you can actually beat me. If that happens, I'll hear your request.
In that case, you'd better get ready. I'm real fired up now. You're gonna have to start calling me... Inferno Caspar!
Hello, Catherine. I thought I might find you here.
Is there something I can do for you, Ashe?
Yes. Could you tell me what you know about this?
This is quite an old letter. Where'd you find it?
It was found in the bishop's room during the inquiry of the Western Church.
I see. It's one of the documents you collected.
This letter mentions my brother, Christoph Caspar, by name. He was executed by the Church for allegedly taking part in the tragedy of Dusker. I know you were the one who turned him over. But this letter isn't about that. It's about a plot to assassinate Lady Rhea. If my brother's name is in here, that means this plot predates the tragedy. So there was another plot against Lady Rhea in the past, and my brother was somehow involved.
Ah.
I can tell by your face that you know something. Tell me, Catherine. Please, I deserve to know.
Christoph was a good man. Maybe too good. It wasn't in his nature to mistrust people. So when the Western Church told him that Lady Rhea had to die for the goddess's sake, or the world's, he went along with it.
Just how well did you know my brother?
Christoph and I were friends. We were in the Blue Lion House together at the academy.
If you were friends, why did you hand him over to be executed? There must have been another way.
No. If there was another option, I'd have chosen it. But he was foolish. He went along with the plan to assassinate Lady Rhea. I wasn't motivated by a personal grudge. I had no choice but to turn him in, that much is true.
I can't believe that my brother would try to assassinate Lady Rhea. But if he did, that means the Church was lying about his involvement in the tragedy of Dusker, doesn't it?
Lying is a strong word. The world was in chaos, and the Church did what it had to. If people had known about the threat to Lady Rhea's life, the panic would only have worsened.
So you're saying everything in this letter is true?
You can choose what to believe. All I know is I let him die, and that's something I can never change. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Catherine, wait! Please!
What's wrong, Ashe? Why are you standing there?
I've been thinking. No matter what I do, Lenato and my brother are never coming back.
Do you hate me?
I don't know. Maybe I do. I know you're an ally I can trust, a knight I can respect. But maybe I do.
Why don't you take a swing at me? I bet that'll make you feel better.
What?
Don't just stand there with that timid look on your face. Come at me!
I don't think that's going to help.
This isn't about avenging the dead. It's about taking revenge for yourself. It's how survivors move on. What will you do, Ashe? You're welcome to stare at your feet for the rest of your life. Ah, that look in your eye. I like it! Come on! Put Put your back into it!
Catherine,
Yes, Ashe?
I don't know what's right anymore. I don't.
Don't be a fool. You decide for yourself what's right and what's wrong. I believe Lady Rhea is right, so I won't allow anyone to bring her harm.
What about a friend? How could you kill a friend to protect her, with no hesitation?
I couldn't. I'll never forget that day. When they took him, all I could do was stand there. I had to persuade myself, saying over and over under my breath, this is the right thing to do. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to stand there. I would have cried out. I'm still persuading myself even now. I probably will be for the rest of my life. If I let myself regret what happened, he will have died for no reason.
Catherine.
Uncertainty is weakness. Someday, Ashe, you'll have to make up your mind. You know who I am. What will you do about it? Wow, you've gotten much better. You're not doubting yourself anymore. It's like your state of mind is completely different. What changed?
Can I tell you honestly?
Please do. Maybe this is a chance to resolve our dispute and move on.
As a knight, an ally, and even as a person, I know I can trust you. But somewhere in my heart, there's a part of me that can't forgive what you did.
Of course. Your brother's blood is on my hands. It wouldn't be easy for anyone in your position to feel forgiving. If someone said it was easy, I would probably give him a smack in the face. You may never be able to forgive me, no matter how hard you try. I'm prepared to accept that. It's my duty.
I admire your spirit, Catherine. Honestly, I do. I hope the part of me that's holding this grudge will get smaller with time. And maybe someday, it'll vanish.
That's rather poetic.
Maybe, but I'm being serious.
Sorry, didn't mean to make light of it.
No, it's all right. We should have talked like this much sooner. I feel like I can finally stop dwelling on the past and start looking forward to the future.
I think meeting you has been good for me, too. Different people have different morals. They won't always agree on what's right and what's wrong. Maybe that's obvious, but it's something I think about when I'm talking to you.
Can I ask something of you? I'd like to get to know you better, Catherine, as a person, and as my friend.
Sure, but I won't do all the talking. It'll be dull if you don't tell me about yourself, too.
Me? It won't be very interesting for you, but okay.
Okay, let's chat over a nice, tasty meal, my treat.
Christoph, Lenato, watch over me, please.
Hurry up or I'll eat all the food!
Coming!
Phew. Good work. Should we call it a day?
Thank you. Yes, let's. Catherine, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you something.
Let me guess. You're going to ask why you're so bad at predicting my attacks.
When I expect an attack from above, you surprise me from below. When I expect a jab, I get a sweep. You seem to anticipate my anticipation.
It's probably because you're a straightforward, honest person. You're reading my movements and trying to calculate what I'll do next.
That has always seemed the most sound strategy when engaging in combat, yes.
Right. Well, I take that anticipation and turn it against you. I use my eyes and the tilt of my sword to mislead you. Catching your opponent off guard is the trick to staying alive in combat. You've got to keep yourself alive if you want to protect Lady Rhea, right?
Your dedication to Lady Rhea's safety is truly inspiring, Catherine.
You flatter me.
My dream is to become a knight and protect my king, no matter the cost. there is no greater purpose I can serve. Although your fealty is sworn to Lady Rhea, you are the ideal knight I aspire to be.
Admire me to your heart's content, but I'm...
Catherine, I'd be honored if you would make me your squire.
My what now? Oh, you're far too straight-laced to be my squire.
However you might judge me, I'm quite serious about this.
All right then, why not? Let's start by teaching you how to flirt with handsome men.
Pardon me? That can't possibly be where you want to start.
Nah, I was just kidding. I wish I knew how to flirt with handsome men. Instead, let's teach you to lighten up.
Ah, understood.
All right then, enough sparring for today?
Yes, that should suffice.
I must say, you've gotten good at seeing through my tricks. I can't mislead you so easily anymore.
I've made it my goal to read your aim and not give away anything through my body language.
But in hand-to-hand combat, your form needs work. On the battlefield, even if you lose your weapon, you can't ever stop fighting. Sink your teeth into their throats, kick them where it hurts. Do whatever it takes to survive.
Have you ever needed to employ such methods?
Not on the battlefield. I've never been in such a dire situation that I needed to. But at the tavern, loads of times. With a well-aimed boot, I've brought many a man to his knees. My point is, you can't hesitate to use dirty tactics. You have to grit your teeth and fight back. War isn't as pretty as it's made out to be in all those poems and songs. Sometimes, even as a knight, you have to do things that you might think are beneath you. You might even have to let innocent bystanders die. Are you prepared for that, Ingrid? Do you really want to be a knight, knowing what it entails?
I'm prepared to do whatever is requested of me, come what may. I will be a knight who loyally serves my king, just as you loyally serve Lady Rhea.
You've got me wrong. I'm loyal to the Archbishop, but only up to a point. I'd do anything in the world for Lady Rhea, except die. If she asked me to die for her, I wouldn't. Does that sound like a contradiction? Very well. That's just who I am.
You're right. It does sound like a contradiction. With all due respect, that isn't very knightly of you. I'm not sure I fully understand.
You will someday. Maybe not for a while, but you will. In the meantime, just don't die, okay?
I'll try my best.
Hello, Catherine. A moment of your time.
Oh, it's you. Yes?
That sword you wear upon your hip, how did you come by it, exactly?
I don't appreciate your tone. Are you implying I swiped it off someone?
Not at all. But heroes' relics are typically passed down through the bloodlines of the 10 elites. You are descended from a noble family, are you not?
That's none of your business.
Actually,
Let's say I was a nobody, with no relic, no crest. I would still be me, wouldn't I? That's not to say lineage counts for nothing. It just doesn't count as much as how you lived your life and what you live for. Or, let's say I was descended from some noble house. Would that change how you treat me?
yes, it would. To treat you differently from the common folk would only be appropriate.
You're so narrow-minded, tied down by foolish, antiquated notions.
But the nobility and the common folk are different. If the few did not have capabilities to set them apart from the many, then they would not be the few.
Wow. You really think nobles are better than everyone else, don't you?
I didn't mean to suggest...
You pay so much attention to people's lineage and status that you have no idea who they actually are. Even if I was from the prestigious house whatever, I would never associate with a blowhard like you.
Your swordplay is captivating. exceedingly graceful, yet mindful to guard the weaknesses that often accompany such elegant flourishes.
Lorenz, are you spying on me? That's not very noble.
It was rude of me to watch so long in silence, I do confess. Yet I could not bring myself to interrupt. I believe that such a deep grasp of swordplay can only mean that you have experienced the privilege of a noble birth.
You just don't let up. I didn't inherit my sword skills, Lorenz. I trained. I earned them.
One's lineage does not affect one's talent or tenacity, to be sure. But a noble is raised in an environment more conducive to the honing of martial skill. Those brought up in the lap of luxury are blessed with a far wider variety of options for their futures. And a noble raised in that fashion is better equipped to keep the peace for the common folk.
Sure. And besides keeping the peace, what are the nobility's other duties?
Matters of state for a start. A noble has the ability to declare war, for instance. A commoner does not. And a noble who carries the blessing of a crest has even more power. One move from such an individual can exert massive influence. Of course, such influence must only be wielded with discretion. It is a noble's duty to use power wisely.
Whether or not it's their duty, if they don't use their power wisely, the people will revolt.
Indeed. The motivation to revolt can only come from discontent with the nobility. But if the people are well protected and enjoy peaceful and happy lives, there is no such motive. Thus, if such a revolt does occur, the nobility must be held accountable.
The nobility must be held accountable, I never thought I'd find myself agreeing with you. Maybe you're not as bad as I thought. In fact, I'll let you in on a secret. I am from a noble family, House Karen of Fargus. I used to be known as Cassandra Rubens Karen. Perhaps you've heard that name before?
House Karen? It cannot be. Are you the one who was driven from Fargus for some grave crime?
So people say. However, I didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, how do you rate me now? On one hand, I am a noble, but I'm also a fugitive.
I see. Well then. Will you do me the honor of a bout?
So you'd like to suss me out with your sword? Sure, I'll take you on. Let's put the match on hold for now, Lorenz. Or if you can't wait, we'll say you won.
No. Let us resume it later. You haven't yet had the chance to use Thunderbrand.
You weren't using a relic either. If you had been, you would have won easily. Even without it, you're stronger than I expected. You seem to be fighting more intensely than usual.
Under ordinary circumstances, I'd have surely lost. But I had a vested interest in testing your character. If your swordplay relied at all on the dirty tricks of a fugitive, I would have felt compelled to defeat you.
Are you saying you fought more ably because you had a sense of purpose?
Not as such, although I admit that when we crossed blades, I became envious of your strength. I caught a glimpse, in your elegant swordsmanship, of an aspect of the noble ideal that I yet lack. That envy is perhaps what drove me to fight so hard.
Interesting.
I was also able to satisfy my curiosity. You are no criminal, but rather a lady of great conviction.
That might be an exaggeration. I've done some things I'm not proud of.
Modest as ever. Another of your noble qualities.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm no longer a noble.
Whatever your title, the responsible use of power is the very hallmark of nobility. Deny it all you like. The way I see it, you are indeed a true noble.
I don't want to be a true noble. I won't be tied down by any stuffy idea of nobility. Although, if this is your way of flirting with me, perhaps I can be persuaded otherwise.
That's rather sudden.
Tell me, Lorenz, do you often woo noble women? As a true noble, I must be an ideal target for a fellow like you.
Since you put it that way, apologies, but I confess you've rendered me quite speechless.
Lighten up. I'm just teasing. You're clearly not ready to woo me.
Not ready? Do I not suffice for you? Is there some flaw that I could conceivably correct?
You're more open-minded than you used to be, but but you're still so hung up on status and lineage. If you became a more tolerant person, maybe it would work out. What matters isn't someone's blood, it's what they want, what they fear, what they accomplish. When you understand that, let me know, and I might just fall for you.
Just wait and you shall see, Catherine. I fully intend to live up to the very highest of your standards.
It was so sunny this morning, but now it's absolutely pouring.
Did you hear the thunder just now? Good thing we got all the clothes indoors before the skies opened up. I apologize for troubling you with this task.
Don't worry about it. I was just passing by and thought I could help. I know how frustrating it is to have your newly dried clothes soaked by rain.
Oh.
What's wrong? We managed to keep all of the clothes dry, didn't we?
It's just odd. Every time it's my turn to wash the clothing, there's a sudden downpour. Surely it must just be an inconvenient coincidence, but I can't help feeling as though I'm somehow to blame for it.
Ah, I see. That probably is your fault.
Wow, you're even harsher than I am.
You have a crest of Karen, don't you?
I do, yes, but hold on a moment. How did you know that?
I can just tell. I have a crest of Karen too. And I've noticed that whenever I need dry weather, there's rain. Don't you think it's our crests making the rain fall upon us?
How had I never connected this? This is quite a revelation. A crest affecting the weather.
Well, I don't know how true it is. There are only the two of us, which is a pretty small sample of people.
I suppose that's true. So, we must test our hypothesis. Maybe we can find someone who tends to bring the sunshine around. That would be especially handy for helping out with the wash.
Now there's an idea. Lysithea, do you have a moment?
I do. What do you need to speak with me about?
I was thinking about the time we talked about our crests bringing bad weather.
Yes. We never did get to test that theory, since I haven't found any sun-bringing folks.
Joking aside, each crest is unique in how it impacts the bearer's life. I've seen more than my share of crest bearers, after all. Some of them bore crests of Karen like us, some even bore crests of Gloucester.
Certainly, but I don't see your point.
I'm not a crest scholar. I don't know all the details. I have a knack for guessing a person's crest just by looking at them. Forgive me, but do you have two crests?
Well?
You don't have to tell me. I mean, it shouldn't even be possible to bear two crests. So if you do have two, you must be sitting on some major secrets.
It's nice to know that someone understands.
Of course. Everyone has things they would rather not talk about. For all you know, Catherine's not my real name. Maybe I'm an outlaw on the run from my homeland.
That can't be true, can it? Stop messing with me.
I was kidding, though who knows? Maybe there is some truth in it. My point is, no matter what secrets we're keeping, I'm still me, and you're still you. I do worry a little about you. You never seem to let your guard down around other people. That can't be easy. You know, it's important for you to relax once in a while.
I don't even know the meaning of the word.
That's easy. Just gab with your friends about something pointless, and the stress will fade away. I'm always happy to chat, if you're interested.
Well, thank you. Why are you being so kind to me anyway?
I just feel a certain kinship with you. We both have crests of Karen, and we both have secrets we can't share with anyone.
I see. I will say I'm happy to have someone around who actually seems to understand me.
Good. You can feel comfortable with me. Since we have the same crest, we're basically sisters.
Aw, I really like that. Someone as wonderful as you is my big sister?
Well, don't you just say the cutest things. That's my little sister for you. That's enough. You're done for today.
Right. Thanks.
Are you feeling pain anywhere, Leonie?
No. Sorry, I'm alright.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I can't hold my own against you. And on top of that, you have to worry about hurting me. I feel like I've let you down.
Do you know what I meant when I said, you're done for today?
Probably that I was about to keel over.
No, it wasn't about your physical strength. I could tell that you didn't have the will to keep fighting.
I've got plenty of will.
No matter what I do, I can't win. Isn't that what you were thinking? If you think you can't win, you won't. Perhaps you already knew that.
Good point.
But never assume that you'll win. That is, don't underestimate your foe. At all times, you have to keep a clear head to make split-second decisions. In battle, mistakes are deadly.
But I don't have a crest or a relic. How could I ever hope to beat you?
If you put it like that, I'll fight barehanded, and I won't use my crest. Think you can win? Do your worst. Oh dear, I might have overdone it there. But I believe in her. I would be doing her a disservice if I pulled any punches. It's Leonie after all. She'll be back on her feet and charging at me before I know it. Ha! Ha! Hurrah!
Catherine's working hard. I guess even the strongest fighters can't neglect their training.
Ka! Nya! Ka!
At it again? Or is she still at it?
Oh, a spectator. If you want to ogle, you ought to be a little less conspicuous.
Sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. I was just passing by. I couldn't help but wonder, though. Have you been training all this time?
Yes, I'm simulating prolonged combat. Fighting for a long time requires a whole different set of skills. If you can't handle it in training, you'll certainly be doomed against the real thing.
I can't even imagine having what it takes to keep that up for so long.
You want to be a mercenary, right? You should at least try to imagine. A brutal, protracted clash in open marshland, neither side retreating. In that situation, what will you do? Your survival depends on decisions you make in the moment.
I see why you're so successful.
Most importantly, don't give up. Don't start thinking about how you might lose or might die. Focus on surviving, on winning.
You're right. I've been narrow-minded. I had decided, since I don't have a crest and can't use relics, that I'm powerless against someone like you. But that's wrong. I'm not helpless. Not as long as I'm breathing and on my feet. So, the first thing I'm going to do is learn how to beat you. When you're unarmed, at least.
That's the spirit, Leonie. Though I'm not planning on losing either, you know.
Good. I hope you're ready, because I'm going to train even harder than you.
You remind me of myself when I was young. I would become so angry at my own weakness. I feel strangely nostalgic, seeing that same anger in you. Huh? Where'd that girl go?
We start tomorrow!
How are you, Catherine? You look well enough.
Oh, yes, I'm fine. Never better.
That is good. I cannot help but be concerned, given your tendency toward incautious behavior. While boldness can be a virtue, I do hope you will bear in mind that recklessness is not. A moment's negligence can lead to a mortal wound for even the most skilled fighter.
You worry too much. If they saw me in action, the wounds themselves would cower.
That is precisely the attitude that worries me. especially given your history. You have been gravely injured before, as you no doubt recall.
Me? Gravely injured? When did that happen?
You mean you have forgotten? It was during your days as a student at the Officers' Academy. There was an excursion, a monster hunt. You charged ahead and left your fellow students behind. You ended up alone and surrounded. You almost died. Do you truly not remember?
Are you sure? All I remember is cutting down monsters left and right.
That is true enough, but you nearly bled to death in the aftermath. The Archbishop was so concerned for your life that she tended your wounds personally.
Oh, that was when that happened. Finally! It all fits together. Lady Rhea looking after me. Now that I remember clearly. That was the first time she ever spoke to me. I was lying on the ground, caked in mud, and she gently picked me up, even stroked my hair. The emotions were so overpowering that they must have just cleared away my memory of the whole incident. So it was during the monster hunt. Thanks, Seteth. That's been bothering me for ages.
That is not quite why I brought it up.
Come to think of it, Lady Rhea hasn't healed me since then. Maybe if I get wounded badly enough, I'll have that honor again.
I know you have a fondness for the Archbishop, but do try to control yourself.
Hey, Seteth. I've been meaning to ask you, what is your relationship with Lady Rhea?
That is certainly an abrupt question.
You're much closer to her than anyone else in the entire church. Certainly you're a good, upstanding person, but I can't help but feel there's something more to it.
Supporting the Archbishop is my sole professional interest. Personally, I consider her to be something akin to a companion.
A companion?
Yes, as in a traveling companion. Friends who walk the same path toward the same destination.
Companion, huh? A companion. I guess that does sound about right, now that you say it. Though, I'll confess to being quite jealous. Not many people can call themselves companions of Lady Rhea.
I do not know how she feels about it.
Oh, come on. You must trust that she feels the same about you.
There is no need for that sort of trust. My duties are the same regardless of her perspective. I consider you to be a companion also.
A companion in fighting for the Archbishop.
Certainly. Our goals are firmly aligned when it comes to that, are they not?
You're right, they are. I suppose you and I could be considered companions in that sense.
I am pleased to hear my sentiment reciprocated. I rely on you a great deal, after all. More than most.
Whoa there, what's all this now? Flattery won't win you any prizes with me, Seteth.
I do not flatter. I merely want you to understand why it matters to me that you be more cautious in battle. As your companion, it is my wish for you to be safe.
Oh, good, we're back in familiar territory, with you admonishing me. Don't worry, I'll be careful. I'll always try to live up to your expectations. So don't expect too much or you'll wear me out.
Take that, you goons! And that!
No, Catherine's at it again. She has charged too far forward. I'd better join her before she... Are you all right?
That's what I was going to ask you. How could you be so reckless? All those times you scolded me, and now you get yourself all beaten up. To think, nearly getting yourself killed in a minor skirmish like this one.
Quite right. Thankfully, I am not badly hurt. My apologies. I didn't mean to worry you.
What's gotten into you?
How do you mean?
Don't play dumb. I was supposed to patrol this area, not you. What are you even doing here?
Just happened to be passing through?
Seteth, this isn't like you bumped into me on a stroll around town. Nobody passes through a battlefield.
All right. I wanted to protect you.
What?
You'd pressed much too far ahead. I feared your life might be in danger. Once that thought occurred to me, I could not stand idly by. I had to shield you from harm.
And you were injured in the process. I don't know what to say. Seteth, I didn't realize you worried so much about my safety. I apologize, and I'm grateful. I guess we really are companions.
I did not do this merely to assist an ally. I did it for you. I don't want to lose you. And if I am willing to risk my life to protect you, just think how much scolding I am capable of. So you had best take better care of yourself.
All right, you've made your feelings clear. When you say it like that, I can't refuse. I'm sorry for making you worry all the time. I'll be more careful. I promise.
Please do. For my sake and yours.
Hello, Gilbert. Done with your drills? That's a shame. I was just about to ask if you'd spar with me. What bad timing.
Eh? As I understood, you wounded your arm in battle. Were you not told to avoid exerting yourself for some time, so as to not aggravate the injury?
The arm's all healed now. Thanks for asking. Besides, I have to keep exercising it or the muscle will waste away. Here I am, ready to spar.
Catherine, your wound was gravely deep and should be given time to heal.
It's not the first time I've gotten a scratch in battle. You needn't be concerned. Besides, eventually I'll lose this whole body, not just an arm. As a knight, I have to come to terms with the fact that I will die someday.
Please, speak not of such ill-omened thoughts. I could not bear to see you fall in battle, Cassandra. Pardon me. I am quite sorry, Catherine.
Is something wrong? It's not like you to blurt that out where anyone could overhear.
I allowed my emotions to best my good sense. My deepest apologies.
It's not like anyone is looking for me in Garreg Mach, but still. Since we both have secrets to hide, we'd do well to watch our mouths. Right, Gustave?
Yes, agreed. It may be poor compensation for my gaffe, but I will aid you in your training if you are still interested. If you're completely certain you're healed and strong enough, that is.
Always so formal, eh? Still, I humbly accept your kind offer, good sir. Let's see how your lance skills fare against me. Why'd you summon me so formally? Not going to confess your love, I hope.
I have something I must ask you.
That's a bit ominous. What is it?
Will you be going home?
That's what this is about.
There must be those who, even now, wait for you. Believe in you. Now that Lord Lonato is dead, I can think of no one who would stop you from returning.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss my friends and family back in Fargus. But no, I'm not going back. The person I used to be no longer exists. The life of a noble, tied down by rules and etiquette? No thanks. Not for me. My future is here, with the Knights of Seiros, as Thunder Catherine.
I understand. In fact, that is the answer I expected from you.
So why did you ask? 5 years ago, you chose to leave the Knights. I'm guessing you don't regret that choice.
I do not. But you have caused me to realize something about myself. The sight of you, swinging your sword to fulfill your duty, your birthplace left behind. It reminded me of my life before. Of the day I swore my vows, and was made knight to my king.
You think I'm just fulfilling my duty, huh? I'm not as virtuous as you make me out to be. I fight because I want to. That's it.
We are the same in that respect. On the day my liege bestowed upon me my sword, I knew protecting this man, fighting battles in his name, would be an irreplaceable joy. King, country, family, friends, beliefs. My list of what I longed to keep safe grew. Hence my realization. I did not become a knight so I could pray. I did so to fight.
It seems we've come to an agreement then. So what are we doing standing around here chatting?
Good point. We should end the idle talk. Will you spar with me, Catherine? I believe it is much too early for me to lay down my lance forever.
Now we're talking. Oh, also Gilbert. You look much better, now that you have some fire in your eyes.
I am honored you think so.
Hey, Alois. Looks like you're done for the day. Care to join me in the dining hall?
Ah, Catherine. How could I refuse?
Nothing like a good drink. I feel better already. The grub's not bad either. This is the perfect way to end a long day of work.
I couldn't agree more. It feels like a weight's been lifted from my shoulders. It's at times like this, when worldly worries fall away, that I can really live in the moment. It's intoxicating.
Worldly worries, live in the moment. Look who's suddenly waxing poetic. Oh, wait, you feel intoxicated before you've had a drop of booze? Talk about a lightweight.
Hello! Just the man I was looking for.
Ah, yes. Were you the fellow selling ancient coins?
Yes, sir. Since our meeting at the antique shop yesterday, I got my hands on something new. Here we are. Look at this magnificent coin. Do you see the engraving? It's the crest of House Karen, one of the kingdom's most prominent noble families. It's an exceptionally rare piece, commissioned by a hero 1,000 years ago.
By a hero? 1,000 years ago? I'll take it. How much do I owe you?
For a collector such as yourself, sir, I'm happy to offer it at a discounted price. Let's see, that'll be...
Hold on. Stop trying to swindle my friend. You're claiming a hero from House Karen had their crest engraved on this coin. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Tell me, as a collector of antiques, are you familiar with this piece? It's a legendary sword.
Ma'am, please, keep your nose out of my... What? Is that Thunderbrand? That's not possible. It couldn't be.
You are familiar with it. Excellent. Perhaps you know how cleanly it slices through liars and cheats.
Ah!
Ah! You're saying that whole story was a lie?
I thought it was obvious.
You know, Catherine, you really saved my hide. If not for you, I would have bought that phony coin. So I just wanted to say, money thanks. Really, I can't begin to express my gratitude.
There's no need to thank me, Alois. It was nothing. But I am a little worried about you. You just immediately believed what he was saying. You're way too trusting. I wish you'd be a little more skeptical about people, that's all.
Yes, you make a good point. I'll try to be more cautious from now on.
Excuse me, sir. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt.
Good day, ma'am. Do you need something?
I'm afraid so. You see, I'm a humble traveler, and a pickpocket stole all my money. I don't have enough to get home, and I have nowhere to sleep tonight. Please, sir, spare a little money to help me.
Oh, I'm so sorry about your troubles. I don't have much on me, but here.
Alois, no, not so fast! You there, traveler. Tell me your name. I'd like to take an official statement from you so that we can investigate this theft. Once we ascertain exactly what happened, then we will lend you some money. How does that sound? And she's gone.
What? You don't mean she was trying to...
Yes, she was. It's a common trick for cheats to pull. They pluck at your heartstrings so that you'll give them your money. You just said you'd be more careful, too. You really are an easy mark, Alois.
How embarrassing.
Why are you so quick to trust people?
I've always believed that to earn others' trust, you have to be trusting.
You're taking that philosophy a bit too far. Come on, just one, please. I'll pay for it next time.
No can do. Do you have any idea how much is on your tab? More than you're worth is my bet.
Ugh, it's been a long day. I just need a little drink.
So long as my pocket stays empty, your glass stays empty. Don't cross me.
I couldn't help but overhear. Hello, Anna. How much does she owe?
Hi there, Alois. Are you asking because you intend to pay this lady's tab? I can't even begin to understand that level of that level of kindness.
Alois, what are you doing?
I'm in your debt, Catherine. You've saved me countless times. Besides, you warned me about those scams. You kept me from getting cheated out of my money. So I'll take care of this. How much does she owe?
Thanks, Alois. Are you sure you don't regret doing that?
Of course I don't. Think nothing of it. I used to pay old Gerald's tabs all the time. I'd have been happy to buy you a drink, you know.
Nah, that's generous of you, but I couldn't accept. You're a good guy, Alois, you know that? Not only paying my tab, but offering to buy me a drink, too.
Gerald would have kept drinking. He was certainly shameless about it.
Did he ever pay you back for bailing him out?
Sometimes. Honestly, off the battlefield, he was disorganized about everything.
That sounds like him. And to be honest, well, sounds like you, too. You're probably not bothered when it comes to my debt, but I want you to know I'll pay it back.
I appreciate that, but there's no rush. I trust you. You're a colleague, a friend. And that's true whether or not you pay me back.
You're hopeless. But you know what, Alois? That's how I like you. Next time a con artist tries to bilk you, I'll be sure to save your backside. And he said, I don't even have a horse. Pretty funny story, huh? What is it, Shamir? You're not laughing. Didn't you think it was funny?
Sure.
So then laugh. You could stand to be a little friendlier, you know.
Do I need to be?
What do you mean, need to be? Friendship isn't about obligation. You could try being a bit warmer. Like when I first met you, I took the time to introduce myself and make friendly conversation, and you just said, "Hi, I'm Shamir." I remember thinking that you wouldn't be easy to get along with.
Now that's funny. I remember thinking you were just another knight who loved the sound of her own voice. You know, the type who's all talk but useless in battle.
Well, that's a bit harsh. Did you really think that?
Yes.
But you changed your mind when you saw me in action.
I did. You're surprisingly strong.
Well, even though you had zero charm, you did a nice job of supporting me. Now I know that you'll always have my back. In fact, maybe I should take it easy and let you handle all the fighting.
It sounds like I'm going to be doing a lot more work around here.
We make a pretty good team. At any rate, we're bound together, so we better try to get along. Don't you think, partner?
If that's how you see it, I can't disagree.
That battle was a decent challenge, but when push came to shove, they didn't have a chance. Before long, all of the church's enemies will have been destroyed.
You must really love worshipping the church. Or is it just Rhea?
Lady Rhea. You're the only one in the Knights who doesn't address her with the proper respect. It's not just that I worship Lady Rhea. I respect her, admire her, revere her.
I don't get the Ceros religion. Or Rhea.
Shamir, if you were anyone else, I would cut you down for saying that. She saved your life.
She did, and that's why I fight for her. Doesn't mean I worship her.
You never change. You're so stubborn.
You're the stubborn one. When we're on missions related to Rhea, it's like you're wearing blinders. Wanting to help her is admirable, but you'll be of no use if you get yourself killed.
I don't plan on getting killed. And it's not that I'm wearing blinders. I'm just focused. I've devoted my heart to Lady Rhea. She's the reason I wield my sword.
As long as you don't get killed or cause me any trouble, I don't really care.
So my death would cause you trouble?
That's not what I meant.
Let's give it a rest. There's no point in arguing.
Fine, but I want you to know something. It's not easy to put your life in the hands of someone who doesn't share your beliefs.
I understand. I think we can both agree on that. Hey.
We don't need to have this conversation.
You don't know what I was going to say.
Something about our vastly different approaches to life?
Fine then. We don't need to talk about it. Actually...
Really,
Sorry, you go first.
I was gonna say I'd hear you out.
Okay, let's talk about it. I will be faithful to Lady Rhea until I die. If I had to choose between you and her, I would choose her every time. I assume that disqualifies me from being your partner.
Between you and Rhea, I'd choose you. But between you and me, I'd choose me. That probably disqualifies me from being your partner, too.
Well, no. I'm quite fond of being alive. I don't intend to sacrifice my life either. If it came down to you or me, I'd choose...
What's wrong?
Nothing. You're not like the rest of the knights. Maybe someday you'll have to take a path that diverges from ours. What if we went to war with your country?
It is a possibility.
Maybe I shouldn't be thinking like that.
The future is one of the great mysteries of life. We can worry about it when the time comes. But until our paths diverge, you're my partner. And I couldn't ask for a better one.
You got that right. I'm the best there is. You're safe. I'm so relieved.
I was just on a mission. What's gotten into you?
I'm sorry. I've been thinking about the last time we talked. About our paths diverging. I've been a little afraid since then. Afraid that you might quit the Knights.
The terrible Thunder Catherine. Afraid? I thought you weren't afraid of anything.
I kinda thought so too. I realized that I might actually lose you someday, and that's scarier than I expected. I've never felt this way about anyone other than Lady Rhea.
You seem very passionate about this.
I guess so. I have many brothers and sisters in arms, but you're my only partner. I know you have my back, so I can focus on the battle in front of me.
I see. Catherine, I have to tell you something. I lost my first partner, which is why I can make no guarantees that this will last forever. But I want you to know, there's no one I would rather have at my side. I could never sever my bond with you. If there ever comes a day when our paths do diverge, know that I'll always be with you.
Thank you. I lost someone too. I thought we'd be together forever, but our lives went in different directions. Relationships are so fragile.
Of course. But that's enough of that. I can't stand any more of your vulnerable side.
Ah, sorry, partner. Hope I didn't worry you. I lost hold of myself there.
No need to apologize. It's what partners are for. If you'd like, we can start planning our next move.
Next move? What do you mean?
We can wed if you're that worried about losing me. Though, I may tire of your company. You look a bit red. What's the matter, partner?
That was just unexpected. If you'll excuse me, I need some fresh air.